Hey everybody, today I have a little review of this oil pastel set. It's the 48 plus 2 set in the Morandi colors from Lightwish, and Paul Rubens was so kind and sent them to me to try them out. I was asked before which color set I wanted to use, and I picked the Morandi colors because they are kind of neutral colors and not so bright. I already have a bunch of oil pastel sets, which all have the standard colors, I would say. And I'm always missing lighter colors and more natural tones. And that was the reason I picked this. And I really love the colors that are in there. I will now swatch them. There is a number on each crayon, and I will just add it to the swatch sheet that comes with the set. Well, it's nice to have an overview of the pastels, but usually the pastels themselves look like they would look on paper. So I just do the swatching so you can see how the colors are and which colors are in the set. I will speed up this part a little bit because my video is quite long and I don't want to bore you with swatching colors. The colors are quite soft, but I feel they are not as soft as the Rubens Haya oil pastels, which I've also tried out, and also not as soft as the Arrtx, but that's what I really like because sometimes I don't like these super soft crayons. I often use them for accents in my sketchbook, and there it's not important that the crayons are super soft. I will also try how they will blend later in the video. I'm doing a little birdie so you can see how this works out, and yeah. I forgot to check the numbers every time I swatched them, and was one crayon on the wrong position in the set. Well, that's not a big problem at all. I was just wondering why the numbers are not correct, and I switched two of the colors, and they were just on in the wrong place. So if it's important for you, make sure to check the numbers before you make your swatch. And I will just note this on my card that the two are exchanged. Yes, as I said, I love the colors. There are darks, lights, and midtones, but they are all more natural and a bit more warmth, I would say, compared to a usual palette. And these were the two that I accidentally swatched in the wrong place. More interesting regarding the colors is how they are looking on black paper, I feel, because then you don't know. And I will also do my drawing later on in that black sketchbook. It's, I believe, from Sakura. It's a Royal Talents brand, and it comes with black paper, and I really like this for oil pastels. I will now speed up this part also, so the video gets a little bit more shorter. The colors are opaque on the black, and I really love the many light shades I have. These are perfect. These are a perfect addition to the ones I already have. Well, if you are starting out with oil pastels and you want to play with them, it might be that this one set will not cover all your needs. So there are definitely colors missing, but that's because I picked this color set. They have a macaroon color set as well, and also a kind of a standard palette. So I think if these were the only Oil-Pastels I would add another set with more colors in the usual range, because you don't have a dark gray, for example, or a really dark, there is no really dark blue. That the only really dark color is a brown and a black. I picked that bird image from Unsplash, and I want to draw this on the in the journal. It has a black background, and I thought this might be very good to draw this on black paper, and I'm using a light bluish color to sketch out the bird first, and then I'm going in with the oil pastels. When I'm playing in my sketchbook and I'm drawing, I just do this for fun because it's really one of my most favorite things to do, and I am someone who loves playing like a child with my materials. And I also am a fan of more childish drawings, I would say. And I always like to experiment and play. I usually do not share drawing videos here on my YouTube channel because they are just not very popular to my audience. But this is the main thing that I would do with these oil pastels. So I just do a oil pastel drawing. If you're interested in more of my sketchbook pages, I have a dedicated Instagram account where I only share my sketchbook work and also my sketchbook flip throughs, and I will link it up in the description so you can have a look if you are interested. Here's the first thing that I was missing a little bit was a bright yellow. It's also something you don't have in this set. There is no bright yellow, kind of an orangey yellow. Um, I I would have loved this for the feet of the bird. Um, so this is why I would say you need more than just one set if you're starting out. Um, But as I said, these are so fabulous because all the other sets I have, there are so just a few light colors, and that's what I also always miss. And here are so many natural tones in light colors, and that's really nice. Here I'm just blending the pastel with my finger onto the paper. That works really nice. And it's nice because of the black background, I automatically get a gray shade. And I'm just using a few of the colors. I usually put them not directly back into the box. I lay them a little bit at an angle in their space, so I know which colors I've already used, and I don't pick tons of different shades. I just pick 5 or 6 colors for one drawing. So everything stays a little bit more cohesive. I will speed up this part as well, so you can watch the process, and afterwards we will compare some different brands of oil pastels so you can see the difference and maybe can make a choice which ones you want to use. I have a bunch here. I have some cheaper ones from Eberhardt Faber from Germany, from Jaxon, and also, or maybe it's called Jaxon. I don't know how it's pronounced. I have the Paul Rubens Haya oil pastels. I also have the Arrtx oil pastels, and I will have the Caran d'Ache, which might be not fair to put into this test because they are, I would say, the highest quality oil pastel you can get, and they are super expensive. So it might not be fair to compare them with these pastels, but maybe it's interesting for you to see the difference. I don't have the Sennelier ones. I have some of them, but just the metallic ones, and I thought this would not be good to compare them to a normal color palette. I also don't have the Pentel oil pastels, which are quite popular at the moment, but they are super cheap. But I ordered them and opened the box, and their smell was super, super awful, and it did not smell healthy, and I was really afraid if I would use them to get some healthy issues because of that smell. And that was the reason I decided to send them back, and I will not use them in my work. You will find the link to the oil pastels in my description, and also a discount code that I will hopefully get for you to use on those. And I will also give you a link to the blog post where I'm sharing photos of the finished bird. I really like how the black works on top of the birdie, but what I don't like is the big size of the black and the white. I would have preferred to have um, more more oil pastels in white and not such a big one. Here I picked from Arrtx a yellow because I wanted to have that bright yellow that is in the eye of the bird, and it was not easy to get it on top of the layer I had already underneath, but it worked out okay. And I needed that because it's so bright and there is not such a bright color. And here you can see with the black, it's really hard to get fine details because of the big shape. So I would prefer to have two small ones instead of one big. And I also think usually I would not use that many black. White is more important. I really like how this birdie turned out. I wanted to add a little bit more texture, and therefore I'm using the pastels again, and I just do the kind of the impasto technique, I think it's called, and just add in some dimensional mark makings onto the bird to imitate the feathers. Now let's come to a little comparison between different oil pastels. We have these from Lightwish. We have this Haya Paul Rubens oil pastel set, which I really like. Just I'm missing so many light colors, but I believe there are sets out there with more pastels in them, so you might get there more lighter colors. I have the Eberhardt Faber oil pastels, which I would say are more for kids. They are smaller and they are also very cheap. I think I paid €9 for 50 crayons. And I bought them because I thought they are small and not expensive, and I could put them in a box and take them out on location. I would not take out the big boxes. And I have also these Jaxon or Jaxon oil pastels. I like to use these when I'm drawing on the couch because they are not that messy and soft. So I don't get any mess on the couch, if that makes sense. But they are um, not the best, I would say. But we will try them out today. I'm just thinking about which colors I want to use, and um, I'm going for an orangey reddish color, a light yellow, and a dark green. I'm also using the Arrtx ones. There I have a set of 72, and these are right at my desk because I use them in my sketchbook sometimes, and I like to have them close to me because otherwise I would not take out the box with the crayons and I would not use them. And I'm also going to use the Caran d'Ache ones, which I already mentioned might be a little bit unfair because these are so expensive and super high quality for artists, and I'm not sure if everyone would buy these. I got them gifted from my husband, and I do not often use them because they are so expensive, and then I'm afraid. But recently I started using them regularly on my sketchbook pages. Yes, let's start with our little test. I'm using my Royal Talent sketchbook. This is my go-to drawing sketchbook, and I thought this will be the right paper because this is almost the only paper I will use them on. I'm starting with the Eberhardt Faber. They have they are not that, they are soft, but they are not that creamy. They don't have this cream going onto your page like some of the others do. The blending, I would say for the price, it's okay. It's not very blotchy. I'm not sure if this is a word. Next, I am using the Arrtx ones. They are super soft. They give you a really thick coat of pastel, and they also blend super nice on the paper. I will later try out how these will mix. And I am not an oil pastel artist. These are the Jaxon. Let me know how they are pronounced if you know it. I would just write it under the swatches so I know which ones I have used. I'm not an oil pastel artist. I am a mixed media artist, and I use oil pastels in my work regularly, but not purely. And I think if you are an oil pastel artist, or the usual oil pastel artists would use, this is quite similar to the Eberhardt Faber ones. There is not much of a difference. A real oil pastel artist would use different kinds of oil pastels for one painting. Usually, I think they start with the less soft one and then work the way up to softer ones. Yeah, and that's something I cannot talk about. These are the Paul Rubens, the fourth I have made here, and they are gorgeous. The blending is almost perfect on paper. And the next I have here are these are the Morandi colors, I believe. The ones I've just used for my bird drawing. I have tried to pick similar colors, but of course the Morandi colors are a little bit more earthy and soft and not as vibrant. They are vibrant, but not, they are more natural. That's the only thing I can say, and that's what I really like. And the last I'm using are the Caran d'Ache, and these are amazing. It's just a wonderful quality. The blending is perfect. The feel on the paper is perfect. They are not too creamy, but they are creamy, and that's what I love about them. But I would say it's just not fair to compare them. But because if you're planning to buy yourself an Oil-Pastel set to play, um, and you're watching this video, then I think you are not going to spend that big amount of money. What I would recommend, maybe starting with one set, and then if you're recognizing what you like, you buy more of the expensive oil pastels open stock and just piece by piece. So it's not that expensive at first. Yeah, because you never need all the colors you get when you buy one set. Here I try how the crayons layer up on each other, and I'm quite surprised about the Eberhardt Faber ones because I thought they would never layer on top, especially not the light on the darker color, but that worked quite nice. The Jaxon ones, you can't layer a lighter color over a darker, but with the Arrtx it works quite nice. And it's just with the softer colors, they almost uh, move the other pigment a little bit aside and go through the under layer underneath. And here is the new set, the Lightwish Morandi set. That does not work as good as the Paul Rubens set with layering, and also not as good as the Arrtx do. And let's try the Carandash, and here you can also see the lighter color does not layer up as good as the soft oil pastels do. And this is where I think the fact comes in that you would start with the less soft pastels and work your way up to the more softer pastels so you can add layering to your painting. But I think that's maybe only important if you do full oil pastel paintings. Next, I will try how they mix, how they blend together when you are mixing two colors. I'm mixing here the lighter yellow with the orangey color, and that does not work well with the Eberhardt Faber ones. Let's try it with the Arrtx, and as they are so soft, it works out really nice, and it works with all the softer colors. You can blend them quite easily. Same with the Jaxon colors. They are similar to the Eberhardt Faber ones. They don't mix very well and they get quite blotchy. And they don't stay smooth on the paper. Next, I'm trying the Paul Rubens Oilpastels. They look quite similar to the Sennelier ones, and as I don't have a normal Sennelier color palette, I cannot try that out, but they are blending amazingly, better than the Arrtx. They are really gorgeous. And let's try the new ones. I would say they are blending also very nice. And now let's try our super expensive ones. These are the Neopastels, and they are blending really nice. Yes, I will now share a photo of my birdie. I hope you found this helpful, and maybe you now know which Oilpastel set you want to grab, or you are inspired to do just some fun drawing with some Oilpastels. I hope we will see us next time. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye.